What's good, everyone? Welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be predicting all the round of 32 matches. This might be a short and sweet video, but it's just the round 32. I might give my little insight about each team, what I've seen and what I haven't seen. But yeah, before I start, I need to get my computer so I can, see all the games that's been played. I don't obviously remember every single game, but let's get the computer real quick. That's the light. But yes, so load up this computer real quick. World Cup. All right, so the round 32 matches, some of them already played, like I already talked about the Paraguay game yesterday, Paraguay against Germany. The game also that recently just played, which I actually just watched it, which was Cote d'Ivoire versus Norway, and also Canada against South Africa. So we're gonna predict all these round 32 matches, and then as weeks go by, we're gonna predict the quarters, round 16, semis, and the final. But today is just gonna be the round 32. So the game that's coming up in about like 8 minutes, which I'm gonna watch the game, is France versus Sweden. France obviously has the best attack in the World Cup, and have actually the best squad, one of the best squad depths in the squad. Kylian Mbappe has been cooking the World Cup. Dembele scored a hat-trick recently against Norway, and Olise 3 assists in the World Cup, and even their bench players that come on like Barcola, Cherki, have been making impact. And Sweden, I haven't been convinced by them at all. That striker pairing of Gyökeres and Isak have been underwhelming. So this is going to be a prediction of a 3-0 win for France. And France will be going to the round of 16. And then the last game of today is going to be Mexico against Ecuador. And my prediction about this game, well, obviously the preview is that Mexico are the home team, the home advantage, of course. So that's gonna play into their hands. And I can't lie, the fans make a big impact. So I think this will be a tough game against Ecuador. Ecuador just about made it with that great win, great result against Germany, because when I saw Ecuador in the groups before that Germany game, it didn't look great. It looked peak. They kept not scoring goals when they had the chance to score. They didn't score. For example, the first game against Cote d'Ivoire, they had a period where they should have scored a goal, and they didn't score. And in the end, Cote d'Ivoire scored the winning goal. But they beat Germany, which was a big win, big results. That's why, I think this game will actually be a tough game. I think it'll be close. It'll be a tight game. But I'll just about scrape a 2-1 win for Mexico because of the home advantage. And it's a must-win game for them, even more. Ecuador, obviously they want to win the game, but if Mexico don't win this game, their fans are going to go crazy. So I think Mexico will win this game. And that's going to be the last game today. The first game of tomorrow. The first game of tomorrow is going to be my country, my homeland, my ethnicity, DR Congo against England. This is going to be a tough game for us. This is going to be a tough game. If we win this game, this will be a party in the whole city, the whole country, if we win this game somehow. But for some reason, I actually have some hope. I I might feel delusional, but I have some hope in this game because the Portugal game, everyone thought we're gonna get destroyed when we went 1-0 down pretty early. But look what happened. 1-1. And arguably, we could have won the game. If Bakambu took that chance after the counterattack, we could have won this game. Could have won that game. But it didn't happen. And, Wisa has been carrying us in attack. That's part of only criticism from this team is that in attack, when we have chances, we're not clinical. And I fear that, eventually we'll get punished for this. Because it looks like if Wisa's not in the game, then it's peak for us. Mostly. Yes, Maele scored a goal. Came on, scored a goal, which is a good sign. Because, Bakambu has been stinking up the gaff. He's been having stinkers in the Colombia game, and he had a stinker against Uzbekistan. So it's good that, the striker that replaced him, Maele, scored a goal. So maybe that is a sign. Maybe we should play him tomorrow. But I don't think we're going to do that. I think, the coach is going to do the experience route and play Bakambu. In England, they're bringing results, but it hasn't been great. One thing that gives me hope is the Ghana game. That Ghana game right there. Ghana defensively solved for 90 minutes and got a point. If we can do the same thing like we against Portugal and like what Ghana did against England, then we could take this game in extra time. Maybe even penalties. And we actually have a pretty decent record from penalties. We beat Nigeria in the World Cup qualifiers. We beat Egypt in the AFCON 2023. So in penalties, I don't think these players are going to fear penalties. But, I'm going to be delusional. Frick it. We're going to be delusional. We're going to say 1-1, or actually 0-0, goes to penalties, and we win on penalties. This is delusional, but come on, you have to back the country, man. And then the next one is going to be Belgium against Senegal. Belgium, I haven't been convinced of Belgium. Belgium's one of those I haven't been convinced. Senegal, in the groups, they had a tough group. That's what will give them the benefit of the doubt. But I do think this is where Senegal are going to wake up. This is when they're going to start transforming, look like a different side. And maybe those losses in those group stage will anger them. And I think Senegal will win this. I'll support Africa this time. And I think Senegal are going to win this game 2-1. And then the next game will be USA against Bosnia. This is a tough game. USA favorites, pressure, knockout game against Bosnia, which are usually defensively solid, physical, good in set pieces. But USA are favorites, and they should win this game, and I think they will. And I'll say USA 3. Actually, no, I'll say ugly game. USA 1, Bosnia 0. The game after that, I'm going to say it's Spain against Austria. I haven't seen much of Austria, I can't lie, so I can't really say much about them. But Spain, the first game against Cape Verde wasn't great. The game against Uruguay, it wasn't that great either. But the game against Saudi Arabia was convincing, it was brilliant, it was a great performance. And I do think they will win this game. I think Spain are going to win this game 3-0. Convincing, solid performance like the Saudi Arabia game. And the last game, but not least, is Portugal versus Croatia. If I'm not wrong, let's see real quick. Or no, there's still more games. Portugal against Croatia. It's Modric against Cristiano. The battle of the Unks. Croatia haven't really been convincing in the groups. Got results, but performance has not been great. I can't lie. And Portugal, bad start for them. They drew against Congo, and they beat Uzbekistan, but that's expected. They should be doing that in their sleep. And against Colombia, they weren't great either. So this will be an interesting game. But I do think Portugal are stronger, and I do think Portugal will win this game. But I do think we'll go extra time. I'll say Portugal 2, Croatia 1. Now, the next game, Switzerland against Algeria. I'm going to say for this game, I might go straight predictions for this one. So I'm going to say Switzerland are going to win this game 1-0. Australia versus Egypt. I'm going to say, Australia have, they beat Turkey. They look great against Turkey. And I'll say, even though USA beat them, they still looked pretty decent. But I'm going to say Egypt are going to win. Egypt are going to win a knockout game for the first time in a long time, or maybe it's the first ever time. Yeah, I think it's the first ever time they're going to win a knockout game. So I'm going to say Egypt are going to win against Australia. I'm going to say 2-1 to Egypt. Now, the last two games are going to be Cape Verde against Argentina and Colombia against Ghana. Cape Verde, what a story. What a story from Cape Verde. Miracles, draws, unbeaten. They're still unbeaten in the World Cup. Versus Argentina, unbeaten as well. And have, obviously, the greatest player of all time, Lionel Messi. I'd love to see a Cape Verde masterclass. Cape Verde win, shock, upset. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think Messi is going to do Messi things, and Argentina is going to win this game, unfortunately, 3-0. Now, the last game, like I said, Colombia against Ghana. The Colombians have invaded the stadium. I remember against the Congo game. Colombians were everywhere. Filled, packed that whole stadium against Congo. So I think that is basically going to be the Mexico thing, where they fill the whole stadium, most of the stadium, and I think that's going to have a play into this game. And I do think Colombia are going to knock out Ghana 3-1. So yeah, that's all my prediction for all these games. I hope you like, this format of the video, me making predictions about the knockout games. And obviously, the next knockout games will be the round 16. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.